Dear donor family, how do you thank someone you've never met and that you'll never get to meet? I mean, my lead up to getting the call for my transplant, I was just like, oh my gosh, how can I be sitting here this excited when I know what this means for someone else?
Will was 20 when he was hit by a car while he was out riding. So although we were with him for 3 days, we were told it was unsurvivable. Will actually donated, I think, pretty much every organ that can be donated. All the hopes that he had could in some ways come true in other people's lives.
This letter was really hard to write. It was to people I've never met, where I had gained something, they had lost something. I know nothing about my donor. I only know that my donor was a male. I don't really know his age. I don't know when his birthday was.
After about 9 months after Will's accident, we had a letter from a mother of a 2-year-old boy that had part of Will's liver. And honestly, it was just the best day. It was in a kind of a bit of a scruffy envelope. I just didn't care, because in it, she just explained how Will's donation had made such a difference to her son.
I think I was putting too much pressure on myself to form this thing called the perfect letter. I would think about how I would feel if I was receiving the letter. I didn't want it to sound like I was showing off that I was living this amazing life when someone had lost someone so dear to them.
I can understand why recipients are kind of nervous about writing to bereaved, parents and loved ones. It's so important to us because you just want to know that their life mattered. And I think a lot of recipients worry about offending us. But I think what you need to realise is not writing actually offends more.
Then there's like a guilt that it took me so long to write my letter. I mean, it's taken me nearly 2.5 years to do it. It's really because in my head I kept thinking, like, if I was receiving a letter, I would just be so jealous and angry that someone that I love so much wasn't walking the planet, but someone I'd never met was able to do these things.
Of course I'm upset. I lost my son and people think they're going to remind me as if I've forgotten that actually he died. Just talk about what your life was like before and what the organ has done for you. And if that is too painful, just a simple thank you.
I want them to know that every day my donor is with me in my thoughts, even if he physically can't be with us. And that they know that even though I never knew their loved one, I'm fully aware that I owe him absolutely everything.
I'd love to hear from the rest of Will's recipients. I still haven't heard from the gentleman that's got Will's heart, and that actually gives me quite a lot of pain. So it makes me think that he doesn't care. And of course that isn't the case. I mean, the one thing I know and I have learned is you never get an ungrateful recipient. But actually, when you don't hear, it does make you think that they're not.
Writing this letter's been a little bit like putting it in a bottle, sending it off to sea, not knowing who or when someone's going to receive it. I just hope that if it is read and it is received, that, as I said, it offers comfort and it offers reassurance, and I would really like to hear back, but I also understand that if it's taken me nearly 2.5 years to write my letter, it could take in excess of 2.5 years for someone to be brave enough to either open my letter or to respond. So
I love telling people that, a little boy's gone to school because of Will, and a dad that was on dialysis for 10 years now can go on holiday with his loved ones. I'm not slightly bitter that they have that life, because that's exactly what Will would have wanted.
I will never be able to thank you enough for giving me life. Thank you.